welcome to this flight today between Kapalua on the island of Maui and Honolulu on Oahu. We are once again going to be flying on this Mokulele Airlines Saab 340, part of the code share with United Virtual Airlines. And on this short little hop today, we're actually going to probably get to practice some VOR DME arcs, which is really neat, because we'll be practicing it in real time with controllers on VATSIM. At least that's the plan. So it flew the airplane in here on the last leg, so it's pretty much already set up. We just need to plug in our route for this next leg. Right now on VATSIM, it looks like Honolulu Center is on, so I'm going to tune in 126.5. We'll listen in there, see what they're saying on the radio. And we'll call for our clearance once we're heading out of here. But for right this second, we need to get our flight plan into the FMS. I'm going to have it backed up in there. Primarily just going to use the FMS to get to chain, and then I think that's our first fix. Let's see here. Use it to go to our first fix, and then we'll follow the DME arc around for the rest of the leg. So yeah, direct chain. So let's check first thing that our database is current, which it is, and then we'll go to the FMS here, get the Kapalua airport code in. We're going to Honolulu today. Beautiful weather, like we said, all over the state of Hawaii today, and didn't have any issues on the way over here from Oahu. Not anticipating any weather issues on the way back. So we're friendly 7763, and chain is going to be the fix we put in right there. So perfect. I'll execute that for now. Then we'll go to departure arrival. We'll be departing runway 2 out of Kapalua, and we're planning the Jewel 5 arrival with the chain transition, ILS 4 right Yankee with the Elena transition. So that's our plan for now. We'll look at that here in just a minute when we're actually doing our briefing. We'll go ahead and turn on the seatbelt sign. We have passengers boarding now, so we'll make sure that they're all getting seated and comfortable. Alright, and we'll be squawking 1200 initially, and our cruise altitude today is going to be 12,000, so I'm going to set in 12,000 feet initially, and we'll see what center gives us when we pick up our clearance on the taxi out. Alright, so there's 12,000 set. Let's go ahead and do our departure briefing. So we are friendly flight 7763 going from Kapalua to Honolulu International. For our fuel weights and all of that, takeoff weight, all of that is good. We're well within limits. We have plenty of runway here at Kapalua. We will be doing a static takeoff today, so we'll be holding the brakes till we get the power set. Then we'll release the brakes to get out of here, because it is a shorter runway. Min fuel today is 1390 for takeoff. Plan 1524 pounds on the ramp, which is 691 kilograms, and you can see we're just over 800 kilograms of fuel right now, so we have plenty of fuel on board. The weather here in Kapalua, let's take a peek at that really quickly. It's currently, clouds are few at 3,000, few at 5,000, visibility more than 10 miles, wind is 060 and altimeter is 297. So we'll set 297, and the altimeter looks like that's already set for us here, which is good. Let me do 1015 is what we should be at on this altimeter here. So that one's a little off. There, that's got a set, and then 1015 on the FO side too. It is there. Perfect. And forecast for, let's look at our forecast down in Honolulu. We need to go back a few here. Let's see. There we go. Honolulu forecast is calling for, well, right now it's winds 180 at 6, 10 miles, scatter at 25, scatter at 4,400. Temperature 25, dew point 17, altimeter is 3,000, and winds are shifting to the northeast. So VMC, visual meteorological conditions. So I'm going to plan 4 right for the approach. We could get something different, but we do not need an alternate since Honolulu is the one airport we do not have to comply with those flag operations in Hawaii with. The NOTAM wise, there's nothing that should affect us today. We look down here toward the bottom of the release here. Just there is not a PAPI available. There's not an automatic weather broadcasting system, but we're still able to get the weather via the computer. And Honolulu, they have the taxiway closures and other things, which we briefed on the last leg. Nothing has changed. So we're good on that end. For our taxi out route, let's take a quick look at that. Here at Kapalua, let's go outside the aircraft. I'll show you what we're looking at here. So look at that beautiful view of the West Maui Mountains back behind us. It's going to be a beautiful flight into the Hawaiian sunset. But we'll plan a left-hand turnout, and we'll get our clearance holding short of runway 2, and then we'll back taxi to the runway and take off runway 2. Slight crosswind from the right. And if we, like I said, it will be a static takeoff, flaps at 15 degrees. And if we do have to reject the takeoff below 80 knots, it'll be for a variety of reasons. Above 80 knots, only for an engine fire or severe structural damage that would prevent us from staying airborne, getting or staying airborne. The also we'll make a left turnout to a heading of 180 and climb to 3,000. We'll go out in the channel, work out the problems over the Au channel, and then come back here. Actually, we probably won't come back here to land. We'll either go to Kahului or potentially all the way to Honolulu. But Kahului should work if we have a serious mechanical problem. The clearance, like I said, right now we're just going as filed, so we're squawking 1,200 up to 12,000 initially. And the route, let's look at that again. Let's go back up here.
SCF Center, continuing again, Japan 73, now climbing 1,4,000.
Right, so runway 2 as filed, which is direct chain, and the Julie 5 arrival, which has us going chain, Subway, Sierra,
climb flight level 340, proceed on
Saki, Jewel,
close climb and maintain flight level 340, Japan 73.
and then Elena, and then on the approach, it'd be Yepku, debris, partly 4 right, missed out to Elena. We'll verify that based on the approach they give us. Let's take a quick look at the actual arrival into the Jewel 5 arrival into Honolulu. So you can see radar is required, DME is required for chain transition. We do have all of that. So we're going to be taking off here out of Maui. I'm actually going to turn off our location so that we can do this properly with the DME arc. So we're going to need Lanai VOR on 117.7. I'm going to put that in nav 1. And I'll describe what's going on with this DME arc while we're doing it. You can see we'll intercept chain. I'm just going to take the GPS to get there. You could do crossing radials, but we'll intercept a chain. It's a 12.7 nautical mile DME arc from Lanai. So we'll be 12.7 miles from Lanai. And we're going to keep that going. And we'll go all the way to Soboy, and then we'll make a right turn, and we'll follow the 278 radial out from Lanai and all the way out to Elena, which is quite a ways from Lanai. I will put Molokai in 1161, which it already is in nav 2. But first thing, So it'll, let's see here. I'm trying to take a peek at, we can get the bearing pointers, all of that set up really quickly. So this is the GPS here. I want to see what let's see what we have here. So we would want the inbound to Molokai to be what, 295? Whoops, let's see here. 295 for Molokai. And Lanai, it would be 180. Whoops, let's get this going. 180. Alright. So we have that all set up now. And I'll describe what we're doing on the DME arc as we're going through that procedure here in just a few minutes when we're in the air. But that's our plan. We'll go that. We'll should get radar vectors to final approach course. And if we do get the ILS 4 right Yankee, which I am going to, ILS Yankee 4 right, which I am going to request, you'll see we get to do another DME arc off of Honolulu VOR from Elena all the way to the localizer course. And so that's our plan, and should work pretty well for us today. The only real terrain we have to be concerned with immediately is the Westmount Mountain Range just to our east, and then also Molokai out there to the west. But that's quite a ways off. All right, if there are any other questions, let's go ahead and get the cabin all closed up and run through our checklist. So batteries are on and checked, external power is checked on, bleed valves, reset these to auto. Avionics are set, oxygen's on, checked. Circuit breakers checked, flight recorder. I need to get this set up for our new flight number, which is 7763. So let's get that in. There's 7763, so the flight recorder is set. Parking brake set and checked. Cabin signs are on. Engine instruments ignition are checked, set. Fuel quantities checked. The hydraulics are checked. Cabin pressure, now that's something we need to get set again. So we're actually going to be going down to Honolulu International's right near sea level, so I'm going to get that pretty low, and we'll switch back into auto mode there. And power and condition levers, we have everything in the, make sure everything's working here, is ground idle and fuel off. Trims are set once again. This needs to be up at 1.0, which it is. And takeoff data bugs, that's the one thing I did not brief. So like I said, we are flaps 15. V1's going to be 104 today. So let me get this set to 104. VR is 106. And then V2 is 107. So they're all right near each other. So there we are. So takeoff data bugs are set. Let's get the beacon on and get the doors closed. Here, we'll sit in the cabin and well, as everything's being closed up here, check it out. You can see what it's like here. It slides right there behind the flight attendant's seat, and then as the door closes, flight attendant's all set. And we'll get the static elements off, and the cockpit door is closed and locked. Alright, so we're ready to roll. Pull up our checklist again. We gotta turn off the avionics. And Bus tie green light is on. Left right avionics switch is off. Standby pressure light. It's off. Ignition switches are in off. And no bat start light. It's not, doesn't show anything. So we'll go ahead and start the left engine, then the right. Here we go. Whoops. Well, we'll start the right engine first. That's fine. Alright, we're coming up on 40% RPM. There we go. We'll ignition to norm and get the condition lever up to start. There we go. It's really sensitive. Trying to get there. And now we have fuel flow and light up. Alright, good start there. Still coming up. Alright, engine is stabilized now. So all the enunciators are out for that engine. We'll get the right engine generator on. And let's go ahead and start the left engine. And typically you'd hold that switch down, but looks like it'll let you just click it in this sim and it'll fire it up for you. Alright, there's our 40%. Let's get the ignition on. I'll close these guards. Let's keep watching the ITT here. Fuel flow and light up. Everything's staying in the normal range. Let's go outside and take a look at the...
CF Center, Japan 73.
Go for center.
Runway A at flying ship is 05570 in Japan 73.
And was that 05570, sir?
It's on Japan 73.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Alright, we're
sir.
stabilized. Let's go ahead and get the left generator on. Good, we'll check the generator voltages here. Good, they look good. And we'll disconnect the external power. Let the agents know they can disconnect the GPU. And we'll get the avionics switches back on. Go ahead and get our ice protection on. Over here, make sure we have our recirc fans on. And we got the good temperature. I'm going to cool it down just a little bit in the cabin here and cockpit. Emergency lights armed. Let's go through our checklist for after start. So yeah, after second engine start, you gotta turn the auto course on. Left right avionics switches are on. Air conditioning's on. Emergency lights armed. And we have a clear signal now, so we'll go ahead and move the condition levers to maximum. So here we go. Move it to the first stage here, min. You can see we got the beta. We'll let it stabilize. Alright, and we're going to go all the way up to max. And there we go. After engine start check, auto course is on, bus tie is checked, external power is off, generators checked, air conditioning set, emergency lights armed, fuel used, reset, condition lever max, ice protection set checked, overhead panel checked, EFIS checked, clear signal received. After starting After engine start check complete. Alright, let's go on, get out of the way here. I'll turn on our taxi lights. And we'll switch over to Common Traffic Advisory frequency. Kapalua traffic, friendly 7763, taxiing from the terminal to hold short runway 2. Any traffic in the air, please advise Kapalua. Alright, parking brake's coming off. Here we go. Make a left-hand turnout. Clear left. I'm not sure why we're not moving here. Looks like we're stuck. Maybe the parking brake didn't disengage. Huh. This is weird. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call out the ramp agent, see if they can't maybe push us back, and maybe then we'll be able to move. So I think that's what we'll do. Alright. Pushback plan, and I'll call them out here. And we'll go ahead and take our condition lever back to men and feather. Oh, now we're moving. Well, that worked. I don't know what just happened, but we're gonna cancel the pushback there. Alright, we're good to go. For some reason we got stuck. But we're good now. Okay, here we go.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Try to turn away from all those people. Would not want to blast them with prop wash. I'm actually going to turn us around this way to try to alleviate that some. Alright, we're going to come over here. We're going to set our parking brake, and we're going to call up Honolulu Center and get our clearance. Here we go. Honolulu Center, friendly 7763 on the ground at Kapalua. Like to pick up IFR to Honolulu. Over.
Friendly 7763, good afternoon, sir. HCF Center is cleared to Honolulu via radar vectors direct chain. That is filed. Maintain 6,000. Expect 20,010 minutes after departure. Departures is with me, this frequency. Squawk 3535.
Friendly 7763, cleared to Honolulu, radar vectors chain, and as filed, climb 6,000, expect 12,000 in 10 minutes. Departure with you, squawk 3535.
Friendly 7763, readback is correct. Release for departure. Clearance void 30 minutes from now. Time is 0532 Zulu. Frequency change approved to Unicom 122.8. Call me back this frequency when airborne.
Alright, friendly 7763, copy, we're released. We'll contact you when airborne. Alright, so we are released. Let's get everything in here. So 7 Typically you would not want to do that. Let's see. 77. I just set off some alarms because it went to 7500. 7. We need to squawk 3535. So there's 3535. I'm going to go ahead and put us into alt mode. Mode C there. 6000 set. It's as filed direct to chain. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just put chain in here, execute it. Alright, so we're ready to roll. Let's go back to Unicom and let's run through some of our checklists really quickly. So taxi check, brake set, altimeters are cross-checked at, let me put this back on 2 inches of mercury. 299.7, cross-checked, flaps. Let's go ahead and get those set to 15. Flight instruments and radios are set. Tests are all complete. We can't do all of those tests, but we'll go ahead and turn the CTOT on. We'll get the radar on now. And dead on, min, max. There we go. Take the range out just a bit here. There we go. And briefing for departure, we're climbing up to 6,000 static takeoff, flaps at 15 degrees, rotating at V1's 104, VR 106, V2 107. Standard abort criteria. If we lose an engine, left turn 180, and we'll deal with the problem out there. We'll go ahead and get our heading bug back around to runway heading for now, and we can sync it up once we get out on the runway. But that's the plan. We'll contact Center 1 Airborne. All right, before takeoff, check external lights. We'll go ahead and get all those set. External lights set, takeoff signal given, air conditioning set, transponder TCAS set, flight controls. Let's get those set. Check them out here. Make sure everything looks good. Flight controls are checked, CWP's checked, and the takeoff inhibit switch, we pushed it. It's not modeled. Before takeoff check is complete. Let's rock and roll. Runway 2's on the sign, runway 2's verified, clear left, clear right. Kapalua traffic, friendly 7763, Saab 340, back taxiing runway 2, Kapalua. That front passenger here. But yeah, that's scenery for the Kapalua Airport. It's really neat and it's free. So just go to xplane.org and you search it. You should be able to find it. Highly recommend it. I think there are just a couple of them, and this one has the red buildings. So I can't remember the name of the designer, but excellent job by him. All right, there's runway 2. Kapalua traffic, friendly 7763 departing runway 2. Will be departing the pattern to the east, Kapalua. Alright, I'll get our brakes set. Let's sync the heading bug. Synced, and we'll set takeoff power. Here we go. I have controls. And takeoff power set. Here we go. Airspeed's alive. Eighty knots. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Do a quick flyby here. Watch your ears. And we'll start turning out to the left. Let's switch back to the center and we'll report. Honolulu Center, friendly 7763 off of Kapalua, 1,400, climbing 6,000, direct chain.
Friendly 7763, thank you, sir. Radar contact. Stated altitude, continue climb to 12,000 and proceed direct chain.
2,000, climbing 12,000, direct chain, friendly 7763. Alright, we can go up to 12,000 now. Let's get that set. And we can accelerate now and raise the flaps. So we'll lower the nose just a bit. We'll accelerate. Alright, flaps 5. And flaps up. Climb check. Auto Carson's off. CTAC comes off. Whoops. And prop sync on. Alright, so course is alive, heading toward chain now. So we'll start making our turn toward chain. And things are going to happen pretty quickly here in just a little while. So let's go ahead and let me run through the actual climb check on the checklist here. Oops. There it is. Gear is up, flaps are up, ice protection set, auto Corson is off.
Friendly 7763 after chain, proceed to direct Julie, cross Juliet, and maintain 10,000. Honolulu altimeter 3002.
And friendly 7763, we'd like to request the DME arc transition from chain into the Julie 5 arrival.
Friendly 7763, pleasure.
Hey, could you repeat the altitude, the crossing restriction for us, friendly 7763?
Restriction was 10,000.
Alright, cross Julia at 10,000, friendly 7763. Okay, so Julie will have to be at 10,000, but yeah, I want to do the DME arc just for practice here today.
And friendly 7763, can you repeat the request from chain, please?
Affirmative. Friendly 7763, after chain, we'd like to fly the Julie 5 arrival as published with the chain transition as a DME arc off of Lanai.
Roger that, sir. Stand by.
Alright, I'm going to turn on nav mode. And indicated airspeed. Autopilot on. So we can focus on everything set up. He wants us to go direct Julie after. So there's Molokai off the. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. So we're gonna. He had cleared us to go on off the Lanai, so I'll get that set 117.7, and it's gonna be the 180 radial to it. So let's go ahead and switch to heading mode here really quickly. We do have these RMIs here that tell us what radial we're on from the both the Lanai and the Molokai VOR. So what I'm going to switch this over to, once we get to chain. So chain, we should be on the 115 radial off of Molokai. So you can see it's getting close. We're pretty much there right now. You see the tail end of the needle.
Okay, friendly 7763, proceed to join the 12.7 DME arc to Grammy.
Proceed to join the 12.7 DME arc to Grammy. Friendly 7763, thank you. Alright, so we're there. Let me turn that off. And we'll continue into heading mode. I'm going to switch the source over to VOR 1, which of course it got completely messed up. So let me try this again. It needs to be 180 there. So what you do, you basically want to turn 90 degrees to the radial you have there, and we're just trying to keep the you go in 10-degree increments. So we're going to keep going around until we get to off the 278 radial. So the tail end of this needle will be at 278 on the CDI here. So see, whenever it crosses through, we'll just go through and take it 10 degrees back again. And we're a little far out. See, we're supposed to be at 12.7, we're at 12.9. So we need to turn maybe a little bit inside of the this 90-degree point off the radial. So these instruments are set up really nicely to help you navigate and do this sort of thing. We also have these RMIs down here that really help with this VOR navigation. So here's what it looks like on the chart. Like we said, let me get this next little increment here. There's our 10 degrees, so we'll go 10 degrees more. And you can see we're just following the needle in. We're at 12.7 right now, so I'm going to go ahead and turn 10 more degrees to the left. Winds seem to be fairly light. And let me pull up once again the Avatab. So if I showed our position, you can see we're right on that arc. That's where we are right now. I'm going to turn it back off. And we're just going to keep going around until, like I said, we're on that 278 radial. So this tail end of the needle is going to be right about there. And we'll turn to a heading of 278 and track it outbound toward Elena. Alright, we'll go 10 more degrees left. Yeah, I'm sure he was kind of wondering why we wanted to do that. But it's for training purposes. Yep, there's the Nai off the left side. And then Molokai back off the right side there. It's very cool. Alright, we've come through another 10 degrees, so we'll turn 10 more degrees to the left. We're right at 12.7 nautical miles from the Lanai VOR, so we're right on track. And I'm going to go ahead and tune in Honolulu in the nav 2. So that one's going to be 114.8. Whoops, 114.80, and that's going to be replacing Molokai here in a bit. Actually, I'm going to wait. We can do the cross radials with it. So let's continue our turn here. 10 more degrees to the left. And course needle, we'll move the CDI 10 more degrees to the left. We're getting really close. We're only about 20 degrees away now. But it works really well in the Saab, honestly. we're just staying 12.7 miles away from Lanai's VOR down there. Alright. CDI is centered again, so we'll turn 10 more degrees to the left. We're at 12.8 miles, so we maybe need to take it a couple more degrees in, and then there we are. Basically, we're just gonna take it all the way to the 278 now. So there's the 2. And we need to keep turning here. And then we just track this inbound. So we'll start turning right. And there we go. And now we're outbound on the 278 radial. And that's how you do a DME arc. Or that's one way to do it. Probably have to track back a little bit. But let's check let's see how we did on the chart. You can see, yep, there we are, turning outbound on the 278 radial. So that's how you translate chart to real world flying here. A lot of it, you're just visualizing in your head what's going on. It might look weird on the instruments, but practice it a few times. You can request it from the controllers in VATSIM, like the gentleman this evening. They're usually more than willing, if they're not too busy, to let you do something like this. Alright, so we'll
Friendly 7763, contact HCF approach 124.8, and thanks for your traffic once again today, sir. Have a great weekend. Aloha.
1248, friendly 7763, mahalo and aloha. Alright. So 124.8. And we're going to be crossing Joule at 10,000. And we need to get the ATIS. Let's see if we can pick that up really quickly. ATIS and X-Pilot is 127.9. I'll see if I can pick it up here. Because COM2 does not work in this Carenado.
Friendly 7763, HCF approach.
Friendly 7763, 12,000 to cross Joule at 10,000, negative ATIS at this time.
Friendly 7763, Honolulu ATIS information, Bravo is currently current. Do you have a approach request this evening?
What are the winds, friendly 7763?
That'll be 050 at 6.
Friendly 7763, I'd like to request the ILS Yankee 4 right with the Elena transition.
You expect the ILS Yankee approach, ILS Yankee runway 4 right approach from Atlanta, altimeter 3002.
3002, friendly 7763. Alright, so there we go. I need to turn this off because I don't want to be cheating the whole time. It's like having a GPS when you can see the airplane on the map. So, yeah, so we'll, here, let's go ahead and descend down to 10,000 just so we know that we're going to be there in time. So here's how you can see where you're at on the, and I know most of you probably are aware of a lot of these symbols on the charts, but just for review, just talking out loud as I'm looking at the things. So these gray numbers down below, that's how many nautical miles you are from Lanai VOR. So Saki will be at 30.9, which we're coming up to pretty soon. And Julie is 5.2 past that, so it's going to be at 36.1 nautical miles. So we need to go ahead and begin our descent down. So I'm going to set indicate airspeed mode. I'm going to pull the power back a little bit, and I'll let approach know we're descending. Approach friendly 77 and 63, vacating 12,000.
Roger, thank you.
And that's something in the U.S. They want you to report when you're vacating at altitude. technically. In the real world, that does not really happen too often. There's a lot of times where people just don't report it, but you're supposed to. So at 36.1 nautical miles, we'll be at Julie. And I'm going to bring the power back just a little more. I forgot to give the flight attendants the bells, but we'd already briefed we weren't going to have any service on this flight. It's just too short. So let's do a quick flyby. Enjoy this beautiful Hawaiian scenery, Lanai behind us. All right, 11 for 10. And we need to start getting prepared for the approach.
Friendly 7763, cross Atlanta at 3000.
Cross Atlanta at 3000, friendly 7763. Alright, so we'll have to cross Atlanta at 3000. It's 21.5 miles from Julie to Atlanta. We'll have 7,000 feet to lose, so we'll need to continue the descent down. So I'll level this off at 10, then I'm going to set 3 in. As soon as we get to Julie, we'll begin our descent to Atlanta. Alright, so we should be leveling off here at 10,000. And out. So there it is. I'm going to bring our power back up.
Honolulu approach, United 2720, ready taxi.
Alright, here comes
2720, runway 8 right, taxi via Zulu Alpha Romeo Bravo, hold short 8 left.
3000 set. And like we said, it's
taxi to 8 right via Zulu Alpha Romeo
36.1,
Bravo,
so
hold
yep,
short
time
8
to begin
left.
our descent. Here we go.
United 2720.
I'll give the flight attendants the bells there. Let's do our approach briefing for when we get to Atlanta. So at Atlanta, we're going to need the Honolulu VOR and nav2 here. So that's going to be 114.80. So let me put that in. Good, it didn't mess that up. And it's a 171 radial to Atlanta. So if we add 180 to that, that's 351, I believe. 351 will be 2 on 114.8. Yep. All right. And we're going to be using traditional navigation on this, but I can verify what's in the FMS just to show. So we have Atlanta at 3000 on the arc, and then Yepgu, Debris, Pearly, and missed approach is out to Atlanta, and we'll brief everything and hold Atlanta's to the right. Alright, let's go back to old school navigation here. Approach plate, this is a Nui International 24th January 2011-1 ILS Yankee 4 right. Localizer frequency is going to be 110.5. We'll get that tuned in as soon as we switch over to the Honolulu VOR in a little while. We will be at Atlanta when we get to the 171 radial off of Honolulu VOR, which is this double barred needle here. So we're getting close. We're about 20 degrees away from that. Final approach course 042, Pearly's at 1500. The DA is 210. It's conditional, but like we said, it's VMC conditions today, so this is mostly just a practice procedure here. Air elevation is 13 feet. Pressurization is set up. MSA is 5,300 to the northwest, 4,000 to the southwest, 4,400 to the east of Honolulu VOR. Published mist climbed to 540. Actually, or more than likely we'll be flying just mist with the tower is what we'll take. But if they do give us the published, climb to 540, then climbing right turn to 3,000 on a 220 heading. We got those mountains out to the west, which is the highest obstacle. And then outbound on the Honolulu 171 radial to Elena and hold. Let me turn off the, I don't want to cheat, like I said. And if we land on 4 right, left hand turn off, I'll probably try to take us off at
7763, 7 miles from Alana. After Alana, fly the Honolulu 13.9 DME arc to Yapgu, cleared ILS Yankee runway ILS Yankee runway 4 right approach.
Friendly 7763 from Alana, fly the 13.9 DME arc off Honolulu to Yapgu, cleared ILS Yankee 4 right approach. Alright, so when we get to Alana, we gotta basically turn, so it's gonna be I'm actually gonna go ahead and switch this over now to
7763, ignore the last message, that was not to you.
rudder.
2720, cross runway 8 left, continue Romeo Bravo to 8 right.
Cross 8 left on Romeo Bravo, continue on Romeo Bravo 8 right.
And 4.8 is in there, yep. Let's so we're 54.3 nautical miles from Lanai right now. 30.9, 36.1, 57.1, 58.2 miles out is when we'll get to Alana, which is in about 3 miles. So, like we said, it's the we can look at this RMI indicator. These are so great when you're flying. I got a little slow here. We're at 3,000. Let me put the power back up. It's a threat that you can run into here. That's how you get into a stall. But anyways, 171 radial. So we're getting close. We're less than 10 degrees away now. So I'm going to go ahead and we should probably start seeing the needle coming in really soon. And I'm actually going to go ahead and put in the localizer frequency of 110.5 and nav 1. Alright, there's 110.5 and course will be 042. Not for VOR2. VOR2 needs to be 351. I don't know why I did that. Let's just leave that alone. Okay, we need to turn. And there we go. Because we gotta be at 13.9, which we're at. I got a little distracted there and we got a little late. But see, you can correct back. Alright, so we're going through the course, so we'll go another 10. And we're too far out now, so I need to turn back inbound. Alright, there we go. Let's move it another 10 degrees. And now we're a little too close. See, we're at 13.7, so I'll turn it back out more at a 90-degree angle here. There we go. And we'll be going inbound at 042. So really the next bend around
Honolulu
here.
approach United 2720, ready to go 8 right.
Go ahead and set it in.
2720 after departure, right turn, heading 150, wind 050 at 6, runway 8 right, clear for
And
takeoff.
I'm actually going to switch our
Right
source
turn,
over
heading
to the
150,
localizer.
clear for takeoff 8 right, United 2720.
Which is 042. And there we go. And we're going to actually blow through it a little bit, but that's alright. So that's basically how you do it. Didn't do it. Definitely, it was a little sloppy on my part, but so we'll get back and intercept the localizer course. Alarm approach mode. And let's get our checklist done now. It's a pretty busy thing to do all of that while you're trying to fly a two pilot plane, single pilot, but alright, descent check, briefing's complete, ice protection set, cabin pressurization set, flight instruments are checked, and CTOT, turn that back on. Alright, excellent. Glide slope is alive now. Localizer's alive.
That's 2720 radar contact, passing through 1,100, climb maintain 16,000.
Climb maintain 16,000, United 2720.
Let's start slowing this down. Runway is in sight out there. Alright, landing check, auto coursing on. Landing signal is, we're still waiting on clearance to land. We're clear for the approach. So standing by.
Friendly 7763, wind 050 at 6, runway 4 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 4 right, friendly 7763. Alright, excellent. So we're clear to land, 4 right, see it up ahead. So we can go ahead and lower the gear now that we're below 200 knots, so we're going to go ahead and go gear down. That'll help slow us down since we're a little fast.
At 2720, turn right direct Keola to join the Keola 2 departure.
Turn right direct
And
Keola,
we
join
go
the Keola 2
flaps
departure, United 2720 heavy.
Or 7 actually. Flaps 15. And I think I'm going to keep our speed up from here. Alright, all cautions on, landing signals given, gears down, 3 green, prop sync is off, hydraulics are checked, condition levers max, and flaps are set for now. Yaw damper is off. Landing check complete. And I'll just have this standing by for us and turn it off. Alright, we'll go flaps 20. Let's take a look at the rear passenger window. I think we can look at, there's Pearl Harbor out there, which you can see off the right side. Pretty cool. And at 140 we can go to the flaps, full flaps for landing here. And full flaps. Alright, 1000 missed approach, altitude is set. And I'll be hand flying it around to 220 on the right turn if we need to. We'll clear to land. If I didn't already say it, ref plus 5 is 113 knots. Alright, autopilot's coming off. And we're a little high, correcting. We have plenty of runway though. We were right on, and it just went kind of crazy here. It's alright, we wanted to land a little bit long anyway, so we have plenty of runway. We'll just try to get in the last part of the touchdown zone here. There we go, we'll keep it rolling.
Friendly 7763 HC. Approach looking at Honolulu, exit left when able.
And friendly 7763, exit left when able. We'll be parking at Hotel 1 in the northwest corner of the airport parking.
Sure.
Keep it rolling here. Let's see here, we're gonna go...
2720, leave my airspace, HCS center close, switch to advisory approved.
There we go, do idle,
Say again, 2720 heavy.
Got a 2720 heavy, you're leaving my airspace, HCS center close, monitor Unicom 122.8.
Over to Unicom, you 2720 heavy.
Wow,
Yeah,
brakes for sure were touchy.
Friendly 7763, taxi to ramp via Alpha Zulu Golf, cross runway 4 left.
Alright, cross runway 4 left, and we'll be Alpha in Zulu. We'll park up the northwest corner. Friendly 7763, mahalo. Alright, clear cross, clear right, clear left, there's nobody on the runway. So that was a fun flight. And let's go ahead and get the flaps up. And after landing check. Gust lock. Wants us to turn those back on. There we go. Ice protections. Let's turn off all the windshield heat and the standby pitot heat. External lights set. We'll get the strobe off, logo light off, landing lights off, wing lights off. I don't need those right now. It's still daytime. High pressure valves are closed, differential pressures check, flaps up, radar transponder. Let's get the radar back to standby. We gotta leave the transponder on for now since we're at class Bravo. And auto ignition test, we'll consider that complete. After land check complete. And we're parking just right over here. And we'll take it right over here near the terminal. Park there. And this is right where we left off earlier this afternoon. Left out of here, so wonderful. We're right back where we started for a beautiful night in Honolulu, Hawaii. Alright, well, let's pull it in right here. And I'm going to set the parking brake. There we go. And let's move the condition levers back to low here. Unfeathered. There we go. Let's get the external power connected back to the aircraft with the GPU. There we go. And we'll get the avionics. We can leave those on for right now. Actually, we're not going to need them, so I'm going to go ahead and turn them off. Turn that off. And get the external power on. Make sure it's good. Yep, external power's on. And here come the turn off the generators and shut down the engines. Beacon's coming off. Taxi lights off. There's the passenger ladder. We'll get the baggage door, the cockpit door, the static elements, all of our chocks and things. There they go. Perfect. Well, let's run through the parking check really quickly, make sure we got everything, and that we get the seatbelt sign off so everybody can get out of here. Everybody's ready to get into town, enjoy the beach in Honolulu. Alright, so parking check. Here we go. Parking brakes set, ice protection's off, external lights are set, avionics are set, generators are set, seatbelt signs off, air conditioning set. We'll go ahead and turn off the recirc fans, actually. We don't need those on anymore. And emergency lights, those are going to have to come off, I know, while I'm over here. Let me get that. This will be a lot. There we go. Air conditioning set, emergency lights off, oxygen. We're going to turn that off. We're finished for the day. Batteries, turn those off. External power's off. Dome lights off. Parking check is complete. Alright, well thank you for joining me, VRF Simmer, on this flight from Kapalua on the island of Maui to Honolulu. Hope you enjoyed getting to see some of those VOR DME arcs. I would highly recommend that route if you do want to practice this. And like I said, you saw, it's just as simple as asking the VATSIM controllers for that routing, and they'll give it to you as long as they're not too busy. But appreciated having y'all along. It's been fun. I'm going to maybe try to see if we can get a replay of the landing and some highlights on the way in. And so thank you for joining me, VRF Simmer. I'll see you all again soon.